Do you know where you are?
I'm in a dream.
And now, this.
Let's go do this. My man.
Should we begin?
You ready to man up now?
Wait for it.
You're gonna wake in 3, 2.
Yeah, bitches. English from the not the yeah, bitches. That's stupid. Cats. Oh,
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Surprise Game of Thrones promo. So these are actually two different promos that I just mashed together. One was like a longer HBO promo that I just cut down to more of the Game of Thrones footage, and the same thing with the second one. It's just sort of a tongue-in-cheek way to promote the new costumes and the new characters, so we get a little bit of new footage. But if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. I do Game of Thrones videos every week. There's even a giveaway going on I'll explain at the end of the video. But the first new footage just focuses on shots of Jon Snow, Sansa, and Arya that we've seen before, slightly more high res. Jon Snow and Sansa are at Winterfell. You can see her walking in front of the weirwood here with a slightly different costume. There's a much better look at it in the aw shit promo. It's hard to tell where Arya is. She's on horseback, so it seems like she's heading back to Winterfell, but there's no context, you're just looking at the sky. That's the reason they included that particular shot, just to make you wonder, because normally they continue it, you just pan around and look at whatever it is that she's looking at. But all the other stuff in that first part of that promo is from Season 6. So this is Daenerys in Episode 10, Shall We Begin? This is Jon Snow, Battle of the Bastards. Very memorable, very easy to spot what's Season 6 footage and what's Season 7 footage. The second part of the promo is just like one continuous aw shit from all the different actors on all these HBO shows, all these main cast members. You see Jaime looking at his gold hand, scared, oh shit, oh my god. Then you see Tormund Giantsbane, completely opposite context, like he's really excited, oh shit, this is gonna be amazing. You get a better look at Sansa's costume. It was sort of covered up at the end of last season. It's sort of a stark version of the black costume that she wore at the end of Season 4 after Littlefinger killed Lysa by pushing her down the moon door. You see Bran's version of the aw shit while he's warging, but he's got new furs on, meaning that he's either made it to the wall and they've got him some fresh clothes, or he's made it to Winterfell and that's where he got these fresh clothes from. So we'll talk about that in a second, but the only two characters that are sort of like off model with the aw shit are Jon Snow and Daenerys. So Daenerys doesn't say anything, she just like points up and you wait and you hear the dragons scream in the background. That's her version of aw shit, because the dragons of Season 7 are supposed to be as big as jumbo jets, so it'd be like living near the airport. You would hear them way before you'd ever see them, and then Jon Snow shushes everyone like, shh, be quiet. But I do love the look at Daenerys' costume. It's the best look so far. We've already seen Jon Snow's costume at the end of Season 6. That's the one that Sansa made for him. It's made to be just like Ned Stark's.
New dress.
I made it myself. Do you like it?
It was... I like the wolf bit.
Good, because I made this for you. I made it like the one Father used to wear. As near as I can remember.
Thank you, Sansa.
You're welcome.
So most of the main young characters on the show are starting to look more and more like their parents, especially Sansa with her red hair. Sophie Turner came to set and freaked the producers out because she still had blonde hair from another movie that she'd been working on. So they were like, oh my god, because she's supposed to look more and more like her mother as she gets older. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's on the same arc, like she's going to become Lady Stoneheart or something like that. But they did sort of split aspects of Lady Stoneheart's storyline between Arya, who's down in the Riverlands, and Sansa, who took care of the Boltons with the help of Littlefinger's Men of the Vale. So I still think just from a visual perspective, Cersei has the coolest looking costume, but Daenerys, at least in this promo footage, is the best, just because you haven't seen a whole lot of the ancient Targaryens, and like everyone's starting to dress like their forefathers, she's starting to dress more like a classic Targaryen. So if you don't remember all the way back to season 1, we actually saw Viserys, he dressed kind of like this, so she's dressed a little bit like him when he thought that he was going to become king. But like you look at these season 6 Weirwood visions that Bran was happening, flashbacks to Jaime killing the Mad King, you can't really tell, but he's wearing a similar costume himself. It's just that it's covered up with furs while he's sitting on the Iron Throne as Jaime walks up with his sword, getting ready to do the deed. But it seems like the metaphor they're going with is that Daenerys will be perceived as the Mad King come again, when in reality, Cersei is the Mad One when you look at all the new people that have risen to power. Jon Snow in the North sort of left to bang his head on the table trying to get everyone to recognize the threat of the White Walkers. And the interesting thing about all the Season 7 Sansa footage that we've seen so far is that she's always in the Godswood, like she spends a lot of time there. We saw her at the end of Season 6 sitting there when Littlefinger came to try and turn her to his cause. Look, I have this vision, you and me on the Iron Throne. And she's like, yeah, okay, that's nice, it's just a fantasy, and walks away. But we see her again in new Season 7 footage, so either she spends a lot of time there just thinking about her family, but it would be an interesting way for Bran to try and make first contact with his family again if he's not able to directly speak to them. Because unless he leaves the Wall to ride south to Winterfell himself, he's going to have to find a way to communicate very quickly with Jon Snow and Sansa to tell them what's going on, that there's a threat coming to the Wall. The Night King and his army are imminent, and if Sansa is near Weirwood, then it's much easier for Bran to try and communicate with her. But both Martin and the TV show have been very vague about the rules of what happens when you warg into a Weirwood. Like, you're seeing the past, can you actually talk to people? Can you talk to people in the present? So they probably found an easy way around that, because you have to imagine the level of information that Bran has to convey to Jon Snow. Like, it would be weird if he sent a raven where he just said that Ned Stark isn't your father, but you have to imagine the magnitude of the information that Bran has to convey to Jon Snow. It's not something that you would send in a simple raven. So let me know in the comments, do you think that Bran immediately rides south for Winterfell, or do you think he finds some other way to communicate all these things that he's learned to Jon Snow and Sansa? But they've been dropping all this weird roundabout promo footage. There's probably going to be something more in the next couple of weeks. As we get closer, they'll actually start promoting it. So we might get that first real trailer in the next month or two. And there was a Dragonstone video that I was going to do before this drop, so that'll be my next Game of Thrones bonus video. Leave all your requests in the comments below. There's a new round of the giveaway happening. It's for a copy of one of the enhanced editions of the books. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Congratulations to last week's winner, Anansi2. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. Bunch of cool stuff happening today that I'll talk about in that top comment. I always pin my top comment for announcements. So while you wait for that to post, you can click here to watch that Season 7 trailer again, and you can click here for brand new Rick and Morty. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys in the next video.